Alright everybody, welcome back. We are camping in Traverse City, back in our home state of Michigan. So today we're going to do something a little bit different because I had a little bit of a hard time trying to pick exactly what I wanted to do for Michigan because there's a lot of great different things. But when we got up here, we went to a great farmer's market and I found a lot of things that I would like to just make. So we're going to lead with that. I have got these beautiful chanterelle mushrooms that were wild picked here in northern Michigan, specifically just outside of Traverse City. Great price, beautiful mushrooms. Couple notes with mushrooms we'll go over in a little while. Also, the green beans are fresh from a farm nearby, give it a little bit of color. I've got this wonderful cold smoked applewood butter that a local artisanal cheese place did. They're from Kingsley here, and I wanted to give that a try. So I'm going to saute the mushrooms, and then at the end I'm going to throw a little bit of this cold smoked butter. It's got a great smoke smell to it, not too strong though. I got a little bit of rice pilaf cooking. Also, because this is Traverse City, which is a cherry festival, wonderful cherries. I'm going to do a cherry wine reduction from Chateau Chanterelle. They have a really good cherry wine that I'm reducing as we speak right now because it does take a little bit of time, and we'll talk about that as well. So first thing I'm going to start with is I've got my pork, and I just throw a little bit of seasonings on there. Just get it all ready for a nice sear, and that's really what we're going to start with. These are pretty thick, so they're going to take a little while. Sorry about the dogs. Put those on. Just a touch of vegetable oil. I don't like to use olive oil because it's got such a low smoke point, it tends to burn faster. So we're just going to get that nice and going. And then in a few minutes, I'm going to go ahead and get the mushrooms cooking here in the saute pan. But I want to wait till at least I flip the pork over and get that nice sear on the first side. And that way we're not overcooking the mushrooms, things like that. So, talking about mushrooms, these being wild foraged mushrooms, meaning that somebody went out, they picked them in the forest. You want to make sure that they're a good company that does that. This place is well known for doing mushrooms here in the area. So that way you eat what appropriately you're supposed to eat. Also, you want to make sure you wash them pretty good. I like to rinse them a couple times and soak them a couple times. Make sure if there's anything, any bugs, any dirt, kind of comes out. Because they can get kind of sandy, especially here in northern Michigan. We have a very sandy soil. Same thing with morels, you'll soak those really good. So I soaked these. I cut off the bottoms, cut some of the big ones in half. These are beautiful, beautiful mushrooms. So I'm really excited. Okay, so it's been just a couple minutes. I got a nice sear going around on these pork chops. Just trying to get them all nice seared, lock in that flavor. I turned down the heat just a little bit. We got a nice amount of heat in the saute pan. And like I was saying in my previous videos, this Blackstone's got a nice H burner in the middle. So I try to put this pan right in the middle to get the maximum heat. That way it'll be easier for me to show you how to do this stuff without trying to run in and out, in and out. So, I got a nice hot saute pan. I'm going to start with a little bit of regular butter, so I don't overpower it with the smoked butter. So obviously nice and hot. Get these nice mushrooms in there. See, they're all nice and coated with that butter. Now I did forget my garlic, my whole garlic. So I just add a little bit of garlic powder, granulated garlic. Won't be as great, but it'll work in a pinch. This is camping. Not everything's always going to be remembered. So I've got the mushrooms, a little bit of green beans, in with some butter, sauteing. We're going to let those cook down. Not that one though. And We're going to give it a nice pinch of salt. And we're going to give a little bit of pepper. So it's going to take a little bit to cook down. And then we're going to, when we get towards the end, when they're almost done, that's when I'm going to take this applewood smoked butter, and put it right in the end, toss it all around with there. My only worry is it would be too much smoke, and then you just lose that nice flavor of the mushrooms if I did it in the beginning as well. So we're just going to go ahead, start it this way, let these cook down. I just chucked on our beautiful wine that we're reducing on inside, and we're roughly halfway there. It is kind of a little bit slower process, but it's going to be worth it in the end. So when these start cooking down, we'll come back and we'll talk a little bit more. Welcome back. We've made some progress. Look at this beautiful color we have on our pork chops all the way around. I'm going to take them off right now, and I'm going to just kind of put them in a little foil bucket and let them rest a little bit. Lock in those juices. I've went ahead, I've temped my pork. You're looking for that like 143-ish range. 145 is the technical temperature you want to cook pork to, but there will be carryover because you're going to let it sit and rest. So just kind of close it up a little bit. Make a little pocket, because we are still camping and we don't have too many dishes. So that'll help keep it juicy. And I'll just kind of put it near here so that way it stays somewhat warm. This is that beautiful wine that I was talking about we had a couple days ago, and I thought it would go really good with this dish. A fairly economical wine for like about $10, made 100% from cherries from this area. And as you can tell, we're starting to get some nice cooking on here. Mushrooms are softening up, which is a good sign. We're also getting some of that juice here. What that is a mixture of the butter and the liquids that are coming out of the mushrooms. They're cooking out. And basically we're just gonna turn that all the way up and just really let that cook. You want to let wild mushrooms cook all the way. Just because they are wild, you don't want to make yourself sick for any reason. So we're gonna let that go ahead and cook. Let a little bit more moisture come out. I just checked on the wine reduction. We're making some good progress. I'll bring that out in a couple minutes so we can take a look at that. And like I said, when it's almost done, we're going to pop a couple cubes of that butter in there. We're going to have a great evening. Okay, in our first couple videos, we've been mostly outside. And partially that's because of the very hot and humid weather of the south. Also, we have a very small kitchen galley here, I suppose. We have a nice 3-burner and a stove. So I just wanted to show you real fast that I've got this cherry wine almost reduced. I had about half a bottle in there, and you can see now it's getting a little bit thicker. It's got a beautiful cherry smell, wine smell, and also right here I've got our rice. Just waiting for us to gobble it on up. So I wanted to give you that a quick look at that and kind of show you this little space right here. And we're going to go check on our mushrooms, see how much longer we have there. And we're almost ready to put this whole dish together. Alrighty, our mushrooms are looking really good. Get nice. They're, excuse you. Poodles want to be part of the action. Mushrooms are looking really good. I'm going to give them a nice pinch of salt. They kind of, I think of mushrooms kind of like potatoes. They really soak up your seasonings really well. We're going to get a couple grains of the black pepper. And then I have that beautiful applewood cold smoked butter. And I'm going to throw, maybe roughly a tablespoon. And I'm going to start there, see how that tastes. I want a little bit of smoke. But I don't want it to be too crazy where, I'm not going to be able to taste the mushrooms. So we're going to go ahead and get that tossed in. Smells wonderful. Let's get a little taste. Oh. That might be enough. I get a little bit more salt. You know what? I think that's actually enough butter because it's got just a little bit of smokiness to it, but it's not super strong. So I'm going to go with that, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get everything together over here, and we're going to go ahead and start plating. Alrighty, so we are going to we're gonna do a little bit of a nice plating. Just because we're camping doesn't mean we have to slap everything together. So we're gonna do this. I got our rice here. We're gonna take the pork, and I'm gonna take a couple nice diagonal slices, just like that. Move this out of the way. You could do a couple thinner slices too, that's fine. Do that. Just like that. We're going to take our mushrooms and green beans. We're just going to get them nice over here. Get them real nice and pretty like. Couple beans. Right there. We'll obviously eat a lot more than this, but it looks prettier this way. And then, lastly, we'll take this lovely cherry reduction, and we'll just go around like that. And there we have it. We have a nice roasted pork chop, a little bit of rice pilaf, our wild foraged chanterelle mushrooms, our farm fresh green beans, and that beautiful cherry wine grown right here in Traverse City. Next time we come back, we'll be in the mountains of Colorado with our friends, and we're gonna have a really big feast. I'm looking forward to that.